everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. And this is Rogue. Say hi, Rogue. Say hi. No? The dog has been very agitated. She doesn't like all this packing. She says, "You're wrecking my home." It's been really hot here, and you'll see when you see my temperature chart. It hovered around the same temperature all week last week, between 109 and 111. So it's not as hot as it could have been, you know. It's not as hot as it was. It's still very hot. But I haven't wanted to go out in the pool because they keep saying it's going to rain, or, you know, this kind of storm, that kind of storm. If there's a lot of wind, I don't want to go swimming because I prefer not to swim in mud. We don't have a lot of lightning here. So it's not that. It's just, yeah. Plus, I'm always very tired after packing. And we've been packing and packing and packing, and there's still more stuff. I know I have to hurry because the tablet isn't charged fully, so when we moved into this house, there was 3 households worth of stuff that came into this house. Kind of, sort of 4. My parents, with their lifetime worth of things, a great many of which are portraits and pictures. And mine, I take a lot of photos. I did. I don't anymore, but I did. Mostly of my son, and a lot of them are studio photos because I used to work, excuse me, as a photographer in a studio. So there's all that, and we're not even just talking about 8x10s, you know, big things. My artwork, you know, big things. 8x10s, 10 by 11 by 14s, those are easy. We have a picture of my mom's parents when they got married. So she was born around the turn of the century, and they got married when she was 16. They're not really positive what year she was born because she lived in a small town in Mexico, and they didn't record the birth right away. So, yeah, there's that. And it's beautiful. It's got this huge ornate frame, and, you know, it's one of those where the glass kind of bubbles out, kind of, you know, those little question things. And it's gorgeous. But, and, you know, photos back then, they're not like, the color is not like color, like we think of. But I really love this, and I'm like, I can't put it with the other ones. It's really heavy and oddly shaped, so I think I'm going to have to just, you know, wrap it in something and mark it. So after doing that all day, I'm tired and I don't feel like doing anything else, and that's part of the problem with my stitching. So today is July 1st. Yeah, I'm terrified of what the heat is going to be like this month because it's always hotter in July than in June, and we've had some pretty hot temperatures. The highest recorded temperature in Phoenix, Metro Phoenix, 128. I've been here where it's over 120. So Yeah, and we'll discuss my temper chart. I'm trying to hurry and then I'm not hurrying. All right, so I have two things that I've worked on that I don't know what happened to the picture. I had it. It disappeared. I was going through all my cross stitch stuff and trying to consolidate things, and I think I put them somewhere, and I don't know where. So I'm going to have to use a digital picture, and this is CrossStitchingForFun. Be happy. And I just did a tiny bit. I didn't do a whole lot. I just finished this flower, and it's always got little fuzzies on it, and mostly finished this. Now there's little French knots that are supposed to be on either side that his little bee antenna go to, and of course he's white inside, but I just needed a break from something, and I wanted something that was just easy. So I did that. And then last night I worked some more on Corgi and Snow, which is, here's another digital picture because I can't find the picture. You've seen it. I have it. I don't know where it is. Now, the snowflakes. I did them as charted, but I don't like them. Oh, I missed a stitch. It's okay because I'm going to take them out. They're charted one thread back stitching, and I think that they should be two. They just disappear. I mean, you can see it up close, but you can't see all the pieces of it. It just disappears. So I think I'll take it out and do it with two strands. I'm going to do all that work. I want it to show up. So I got the body of the dog finished. I didn't do the blue down here because I don't have it for some reason in my bag, and I'm not going to look up or find extra anything right now. I have it, I'm sure, but yeah, we're lucky to be doing any cross stitch in July, and I'm probably going to have to narrow it down and just have that cross stitch available, but I can't put away anything because I don't know how long it'll take for the house to sell, so we'll see. But I'm not going to do no cross stitch yet. So anyway, this little dog is getting closer to completion, which makes me very happy. And then my second Whipco call for June is Underwater World. And as I've said, I'm changing all the colors to better suit my fabric choice. This is DMC Malachite. It's easier to see on this side. So I felt like that looked very much like, sorry about all the crinkling of paper, like water. There's some parts of this that are really tedious, like doing the hair. Now, I used a 12, and I think I told you about that last time, but I wanted to stitch it like this and then back up like this rather than like this. I just felt like maybe it would be easier to get the stitches in the right place. And I just had to do the same kind of thing here, and I just was like, I'm not enjoying this. Put it down. You know. I think part of the reason I wasn't enjoying it isn't that I dislike the way it's coming out. I really like the way it's coming out. But when you are very tired and you sit down to do something, you don't want something that requires all your brain power. And then I'm still plugging away at this part of this chart. This was last year's temperature chart, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts 2023 temperature cell. And I still absolutely love this design. I think for a temperature chart, it's just brilliant, because keeping up daily with it, keeping up weekly with it, it required no effort. And I mean, it was, each one of these things is like 6 stitches, right? Something like that. So very easy to do, but it did have a lot of border and, you know, whatnot. So I'm having to catch up. So hopefully before the end of this year, I'll have finished last year's temperature chart. This is where I am. So this isn't quite done. It's got another shade of green, but these are all done, and this is close to being done. So yeah, so I'm gonna get to actually use the really cool colors when I go this way, which makes me very happy, because I only got to use a little bit of it. Dropped the needle, it came out while I was manipulating the fabric. So, and this is 14 count fabric that I dyed myself, and I made that pattern by putting a gloved hand in the dye and then grabbing the fabric, because the dye doesn't stick equally on the glove because of the texture, I mean the fat makeup of the glove. It beads up, and so when you grab the fabric, you get, you know, that kind of splotchiness. And I want to try it again on something else. Stitchin' Mommy's Temperature Turtles is the temperature chart I'm doing this year, and we are done with June, starting on July. Okay, I did that wrong. June would have been this one, I guess. January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah. So, something like that. Anyway, here is my June turtle. Now, I stitch it on Fridays, so it's not completed. But how hot it's been. This should be the way July looks, not June. I want you to look back at, this is July. This is July. This is June. And last year's July, we had the longest run of temperature over 110. But all of these are in the upper temperatures, but you could see that from that how much cooler June is from July, and that is how it normally is. Nope, not this month, so I'm terrified of what July is going to bring us. And then this month's WIPGO. And to all a good night, stitching with the Housewives, and I am a little bit more than half done. And I'm using Weeks Dye Works instead of Classic Color Works. I'm using one or two of the called for, but I'm also putting, I don't know if you can see it, sparkle in the snowflakes. So, and in all the snow, I don't know if it's going to show up. There it is. So that's one of the reasons why it's taking me so long. And I don't really push at these things. I stitch the amount I can stitch in the time frame that I have, and I don't stress about it. If it's something I really enjoy, I might put more time into it, but you know, I just give it what I can. I didn't take this out of the bag. I apologize. I'm dropping things. I don't know what that is, but it fell on me. This is Cute Boots. X's and O's, designed by Joe Gattenby. And it says, when life is stormy, put on a cute pair of boots and dance in the rain. And I really like that sentiment for two reasons. I love dancing in the rain. Love it. But also, it's like the sentiment of, don't look at what's bad. Stormy. Rain. Well, rain is never bad here in Southwest. But look at what joy you can find in it. And sometimes that's all you can do, right? So this is where I am. Almost done with the duck. He's got two little legs that are still in the orange color. And then I get to stitch his cute little boots. And the water. There's not raindrops on this. There's a lot of splashing water, but no storms coming down, which I appreciate. But look at those boots. Of course, this duck doesn't need to put on boots to be cute. Anyway, that's Cute Boots. So that's the second Quick Go Call. And then Cross Stitch Camp. So there were a lot of things that I considered. Now I'm not taking this out of the bag, but the challenge is to change at least two colors in a color project to better suit your taste. And I've had this for a really long time. I'm going to put a picture here of the dog one that I did, that I made it look more like my dog Rogue. Not exactly, because she's kind of colored weird. But I even put her name on the side of the berry instead of Fur Baby. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to do the berry or the pin pillow for Cross Stitch Camp, because I think the pin pillow is so cute, but I like the berry too. So what I decided to do, I'm going to put a picture here of the cat of ours that just passed. And I decided that I was going to I know I'm going to use this color fabric. I'm just not sure if these two little pieces, gosh, I keep dropping things. I'm not sure if these two little pieces are big enough for each of my projects for either of my projects, but I have a big piece of this, so it's going to be this color. This is Stormy Clouds 32 count Lugana, and I'm using a variegated black, and his nose and inner ear were pink, so I'm using pink. His eyes were green, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with the yellow. Maybe. Let's see. And the words were in black, but since I'm not using black on the cat, I chose blue. So, I forgot to add white to this when I took a picture of it for Cross Stitch Camp. But, yeah. I get to start on that today. So I'm going to have to measure my fabric and decide for sure if I want to do the berry or the pin pillow. So, yeah. I'm going to start that at some point after I continue to pack. Unbelievable amount of stuff in this house. Now, my sister is coming to take the piano to her house. But we have an antique sewing machine. It was my great-grandmother's, I believe, and I think my grandmother used it as well. It's one of those that has the little treadle thing on the bottom to operate it. And I remember playing around with it when I was a kid. Now, not playing that I, was trying to sew with it or anything. I was just fascinated by it. And when I was a kid, it worked, but it's been closed up in its little cabinet. And the cabinet is in really bad shape, but the sewing machine itself is in pretty decent condition. And I have to decide what we're going to do with that. I'm thinking sell it, but I don't know. Just because we're moving to a smaller house and, Anyway, lots of packing to do. I'm getting more on board with the idea. So, anyway, that is this week's video. I don't know if I'll be able to film every week. I'll try. It may not be on Monday. As it is, I'm surrounded by boxes right now. You can't see them behind me because they're not behind me, but there are boxes everywhere. So, yeah. And different people pack differently. I pack in a certain order. And this room I would have taken everything out from underneath things before I started packing the things on top. Now there's boxes in the way. So so you go kind of like, oh, nobody took those out. It's not a big deal. It'll get done. It's just you can't expect everybody's brain to function in the same way. So, yeah. Anyway, I will see you all soon, hopefully next week, and happy stitching. Bye.